What up, dude? And welcome to the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's your man, Curt Steele. Today, we look at 3 offensive line prospects the Lions could target in the upcoming draft. But like the video, comment on the video, and share the video. All these things help us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans like yourself. If you enjoy the content and you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 3,000 subscribers, and we're currently at 2780. And we now have channel memberships. And shout out to our first member of the channel, T-Bone Locks, for joining the channel the other day, man. We appreciate you, brother. And, we'll bring you those exclusive benefits here shortly. But it's another way to help us grow the show. So now it is time to bring in my co-host, of course. First up, man, y'all know who it is because the ladies know who it is. It's the ladies' pet, the men's regret. You ain't seen nothing less because ladies love cool torrents. My man, LL, what you got, my man?
What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday morning.
Man, and y'all see that head up there, man, shining so bright, man, because he working hard down there in Jackson, Michigan. He got that 9 head like your boy Curt Steele. It's the Wolverine who?
Hey, shout out to the new sponsor, Dubby. Get it, Dubby. Coach Mike Jones. What's going on, Lion fans?
Yeah, we'll get into the new affiliate sponsor here shortly, man. But if you're new to the channel and you don't know how our show works, we look at Detroit Lions news, headlines, or takes. If we agree, we say they are bossed up with that big blade dance. If we disagree, we say they are balled on. And we give our reasons why we agree or disagree. No hot takes here. You ain't seeing Nick Wright. You ain't seeing Skip Bayless. You ain't seeing Stephen A. You ain't even seeing old Shannon Sharp. We give you the real. We keep it 100 right here on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast with our true thoughts and opinions about what's going on with our favorite team, the Detroit Lions. And if you haven't seen it yet, if someone says something that my man thinks is crazy or he's like he don't agree with it, LL's face will tell you 100%. It ain't is what it is, man, because that dude ain't played a game of poker a day in his life because he was every hand. Yeah. But that's how we get down right here on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, man. But today, like I said, we're going to take a look at 3 O-line targets that the Lions could do and draft in the upcoming draft. So my man LL, man, you up first. Talk about your 3 offensive line prospects the Lions could target.
Yes. I'll try to be as brief as I can, but I'm going to give you some information on these guys. I have 3 candidates that that could be possible for us at different stages in the draft. One, maybe a little early, around 60-ish. One maybe a little later, around 102-ish. And then, one maybe a little bit later than that, and maybe the 190s if we still have that pick. But without further delay, I'll go ahead and get into it. The first option that we have, or that I want to talk about, is left guard out of University of Georgia, and that's Dylan Fairchild. He goes 6'5", 318, a second team All SEC. He's grades out to be a better pass blocker than run blocker, but can still move you around. Coach Mike, you'll like this one. He was a phenomenal high school wrestler. He has a notorious 67-0 record in high school. So something that is said about him, they said, despite only playing 34 career games with 24 starts, Fairchild's rapid development has been remarkable. His senior season saw him elevate from reliable starter to genuine difference maker, culminating in All SEC recognition. The knock on him is that he's too aggressive, if that's a thing. They say he can sometimes lunge, but that's not a big problem to me. I brought up the part about the development because, of course, if we drafted him in the second round or maybe third round or something, day 2-ish, he may be a day 1 starter, but he may be somebody that we, draft and sit a while behind a player like Graham Glasgow or anything like that. Second option for maybe that pick 102-ish, like I think we got 130 as well. If we keep either of those picks, an option for that would be, and this is a guy who recently featured on the LL Cool Torrents Mock Draft 1.0, and that is Jackson Slater. This gentleman goes allegedly 6'3", 311 out of Sacramento State. He was a multi-sport athlete in high school, played football, basketball, baseball, and track. Started at left guards as since a freshman. Draft Buzz says about Jackson Slater, and this is why I said allegedly, they called him 6'4", 316-pound mauler, was putting together the most impressive season yet in 2024, not allowing a single sack or QB hit through 9 starts before injury cut his campaign short. Despite the setback, Slater's body of work included 44 career starts and 3 first-team All-Big Sky selections, earned his first team AP All-American honors, and cemented his legacy as Sacramento State's first offensive lineman to achieve that 3-time conference recognition. So it sounds like he knows how to play football as an oversimplification of that. The knock on him, which I joked about on the mock draft, is that he's hurt. He got hurt in his senior season, but, Brad likes them old hurt old boys. But a couple of years ago, there was a highly rated guard out of USC. If y'all remember Andrew Voorhees, I think that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think he got hurt at the combine. Baltimore ended up drafting him like the 5th or something like that. Now he's their starter. So Andrew Voorhees was a good player, just ended up getting hurt a little bit. I think this might be a similar thing. So there's another look at Jackson Slater. And the third option that I have, like I said, if one of those later picks, maybe something like 196, if we're still there, is a gentleman by the name of Clay Webb. Now, just reading up on this guy, I don't really know if he'll be there. If he's as good as they say he is, I'm not so sure. But he's an interior offensive lineman out of Jacksonville State. Curt, you'll like this one. He has a 9.18 RAS score. He grades out well at both pass and run blocking, at 86 for pass and 93 for run blocking. Clay Webb is technically, and this is what one of the sites said about Clay Webb. Clay Webb is technically proficient and a versatile offensive lineman, demonstrating exceptional pass protection skills and a high football IQ. He excels in both guard and center positions, showcasing strong hand placement and ability to lead defenses effectively. They say that he's a nasty finisher who accelerates through contact in the run game, creating consistent vertical movement that collapses defensive fronts. I thought that sounded pretty good. And the knock on him, one part says that he has strong hand placement. Another one said that he could be late with hand timing against quicker defensive line. I don't really think that's a big problem. I'll let you explain if you have a concern, Coach Mike, about that part of it, because I know you would see it from a defensive line standpoint. But those are just 3 options. One a little bit earlier, one a little bit later, and one a little bit later than that. Out of these 3. I like them all, actually. But if he's there at 196, I would like Clay Webb. He sounds like a good player. He sounds like he'll fit right on in here. He could play guard and center, and that's important because, we got, Frank Ragnow was getting, longer in the tooth, and he running out of toes and muscles to tear up. So, one day we'll need somebody to step in for him. And Graham Graskow may or may not be that. So maybe it'll be Clay Webb. What do you guys think about these 3 offensive linemen that are out there for us in the draft?
Well, I'm going to let Coach Jones go first because he's going to have the most interesting probably take on this being a defensive line coach. What you got, my man?
Yeah, I give you a boss up on all 3 of those guys. Just to touch on the last guy, you said about he's late with his hand placement. That's something that can easily be fixed during camp. There's many drills that you can get to get a guy's hands right. That's not an issue at all. That's just adjusting to the speed of the game. Maybe he played lesser competition, so just him getting used to getting those hands up quick because those dudes in the NFL are fast. I like all of them, man. Like I said, when you get to the NFL, it's all about your coach, your O-line coach, and Hank Fraley is the man. So I'm not worried about any of them from a technical standpoint. It sounds like all 3 of these guys can hold their own, and they all have their strengths and have their weaknesses. I think if we drafted one of those guys, they would instantly come in and compete with Graham Glasgow for that starting right guard spot. I would be kind of disappointed if we drafted a guard high or an interior lineman high, like in the first or second round, and then he had to sit behind Graham Glasgow, because that means you weren't the guy that we thought you were, or the guy who they picked. Because I just don't think that the Lions are in a position to draft a guy in the first or second round and let him sit and develop behind a guy who is becoming lesser than in the interior line. And not saying that Graham Glasgow is just gone by the wayside, but we definitely have seen a little bit of decline in his play, and we just can't have that. So yeah. But I'm happy with the three of those guys, man. But I'm definitely not worried about the hand placement and being late with the hands, because that's something you can. You could get him in boxing. You know what I'm saying? You can get him in the UFC hand mitts and get him. You know what I'm saying? Hold the mitts up, and you know what I'm saying? Let him here. You know what I'm saying? And get his reaction time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really worried about that. But yeah, I like the candidates, man.
Coach Jones almost doing the Macarena.
Anyways, man, for me, I like these three guys. Of course, I give you a boss up. We blade dancing on that one. I think we all kind of consistent. I like the Clay Webb pick just because of the fact that he's versatile. He can play guard and center. And you're looking at a guy like Frank Ragnow. That's what his big thing coming out of Arkansas was. So he could both play guard and center. Ended up being one of the best centers in the league, because how we do it here in Detroit, man. He's doing big things. He's still only 28, but he is running out of toes. I get you. I get you on that one. But I like the versatility of a Clay Webb, and it maybe one of the guys that the Lions can sneak up and make a how Brad Holmes does, make a the draft day trades, and he could slide up to get him in an earlier round, maybe earlier in day 3. You know what I'm saying, if he's there. But I like the versatility. The team is built off players who can play multiple positions and have that grit factor. So I like the fact that you picked those three individuals. And Fairchild, man, just being nasty. I think that he has that nasty mentality that fits with Detroit as well. So I wouldn't mind him as well in the early rounds of the draft. So if he's still there, especially early second, but late first, where we need that interior offensive line. We need an offensive guard to come in and fill in for Kevin Zeitler, who left. And I agree with you, Coach Jones, man. We can't have the reduced play of a guy like Graham Glasgow. We need him to step up. I think it was a position shift for me. I think this was a thing that affected him. I think he plays right guard better than he does left guard, and shifting him over to left guard was a problem, especially at the early part of the season last year. So, but I give you a boss up on all those, man. But now it's time to talk about something else, man. Let's talk about, man, the Boss Up Ball Up podcast has a new affiliate sponsor, Dubby Energy Drink. My favorite flavor is Irish Strike, which brings you a blue tropical punch flavor. We got to do Honolulu Blue right here for our Lions, man. That tastes like the ultimate fuel. That tastes like it's the ultimate fuel for conquering all that is ahead of you in the day. Here are some of the benefits, man. Get laser focused with green coffee fruit extract, which is the star of the show, and it helps you concentrate. The drink provides brain food, L-taurine, L-tyrosine, L-glutamine, and L-citrulline, which we've selected only as the best amino acids that can help with brain function. It also has some brain boosting vitamins, which is such as B3, B6, B12, and vitamin C. The energy comes from 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. No sugar, maltodextrin, or artificial colors, dyes, fillers, or any type of BS. The cost of the drink is about $1 per serving, and it beats your daily coffee or canned beverage price. No crashes, jitters, or anxiety. You can find the link to buy Dubby in the description of this video. Use the code BossUpBallOutPod at checkout to get 10% off your order. Take on your day with Dubby. All right, my man, Coach Jones, man, you up now, man, to talk about can the Lions three-peat as NFC North champs. What you got, my man?
Yes, sir. So I don't know if have we all have been keeping track of the Detroit Lions NFC North record the past 3 seasons, but the Detroit Lions are an astonishing 15-3 over the last 3 seasons against the NFC North. Wow. 5-1 in 2022, 4-2 in 2023, and this past season we wiped the board at 6-0. Now, will this hold up? Will it continue? Because we've been steamrolling. As of right now, there are only 2 other teams who have three-peated divisions, and that are the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But in three-peating a division, it's just not something that's normal. It's not natural. As you see, the NFC East, they're flip-flopping. The NFC West, they're flip-flopping. It's hard. It is very hard to win your division 3 times in a row. And actually, really, you could say it's, you could say we already did win it 3 times in a row because in 2022 we was 5-1. But we're not going to count that because we didn't make the playoffs. But you get into it, man. You just look at particularly 2 teams who really have added a lot of free agency, and I know the thought is if you add a lot of free agency, you would missing a whole lot, and that's not necessarily true because the Minnesota Vikings were 14-3 last year, and they upgraded that interior D line, add Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave. That man, that's a lot. That's a lot of meat up there, man. They've also added Byron Murphy, the cornerback. They've added a couple other guys, man. Chicago Bears, we didn't even got to go through what they did because we all know what they did. Thieves. So we they the whole interior O-line, and they added Grady Jarrett and another DN. So it's up for debate, man. Can the Lions go a 3rd year of dominating the NFC North? I think once you go 15-3, you start to get into people's minds a little bit. When games get close and they get down to the end of the game, you start to be like, oh no, what's gonna happen? And we all know this as Lions fans from the past. People who are not bandwagon fans, people who have been fans in the past, know how we can play good. We used to play good for so long, and then at the end of the game, it just totally collapsed. And that starts to creep into the mind of a lot of those NFC North teams. The Lions have dominated over the past couple of seasons. So with that being said, what do you guys think about the Detroit Lions' chances of 3-peating the NFC North? Really, it's a 4-peat because we went 5-1. Missing the playoffs shouldn't count. But, I would say that, what is your guys' honest opinion? Do you guys think that, the Lions may go maybe 4-2 and maybe they won't win the NFC North? Or do you think we finna 3-peat that thing?
Okay. I'm going to give you a boss up just on the topic at hand because that is a topic, you get a lot of fans from other fan bases. Oh, the Lions are fraud. They never should have won the division back to back. And to that, I say bullshit. The Lions should have won. I mean, it is what it is, man. I think the Lions will go back to back as division champs because they have been the best team in the division for the past 2 seasons, but for the last 3. I get what you're saying there, Coach Jones. You know what I'm saying? We had some hiccups in that first year that you're talking about. But the team hasn't changed that much. Detroit is still returning 20 of 22 starters from last season. The only guys they lost were Kevin Zeitler and Carlton Davis. That's it. From a 15-2 squad that was riddled with injury, we're still bringing all them dudes back. I think the Lions will get younger talent in the draft that will help kind of come in and kind of cement this roster. I understand what you're saying, man. With the Vikings and the Bears, with all the added medium names with big price tags, because that's what they are. They're not big names with big price tags. They're medium names with big price tags. I think the best player was for the Bears, which was Joe Tooney, in the interior offensive line. But you look at a guy like Jonah Jackson, who couldn't stay healthy in Detroit and got a big contract and got traded after a year. Nah, bro, I'm good with him. And the thing is with you, when you are doing that, right? We've all heard this adage before. Good teams don't do a lot of spending in free agency, right? We've heard this because they build their team through the draft. And just because they have these big names doesn't mean they built a team. They've acquired talent, right? Detroit has built a team and culture constructed, and it's constructed to have sustained success. I think the Lions, I know the Lions will win the NFC North again. I'm not saying it will be easy, but I do see them winning the NFC North again. I don't see it where all these new names around the divisions because they're going to make somebody all of a sudden they're the favorite to win the NFC North just because they added a name here or there. And and we've kept our roster. You talking about a team that went 15-2 and you bring almost everybody back.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. What you got, LL?
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. That's a big boss up. I believe that we can win it 3 in a row, 4 in a row, however many times in a row. I ain't gonna do like y'all's friend LeBron, but something like that. That kind of run. But yeah, I don't want to go into shit. Well, maybe I do because I don't care. Like you, Curt, like what both of us, or all of us say. I don't. Well, what Curt say. I don't. All of us don't say this, but I don't really care what any of them other teams did, man. I don't care. Sign Javon Hargrave. Sign was Big Allen out of Washington. Do whatever that you got to do because it's I know they're trying to win games, but some of these moves seems like it's a direct shot at us. It's like, yeah, we gotta. We got to stop some of the stuff that y'all got going on. So, prepare all you can, but you still gonna have to play play the Lions on the field. 5-1, 4-2, something like that. Maybe even sweep that thing again, 6-0. I believe that the Detroit Lions shall be the 3-10. Well, let me just hold up 3 because they say if you do both of them, that's bad news. So just a 3 Pete here. Yeah, go ahead and take that thing 3 years in a row. That's all I say.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
The thing is I do think the Detroit Lions will repeat the division. The only thing, that is like, it's going to be a challenge for us is those Minnesota Vikings. I don't think the Chicago Bears are going to have that rise like people think. I think they'll build, but I don't think they're rising. But if you look at the Minnesota Vikings, because they also added Jordan Mason from the San Francisco 49ers running back. They also added, like you said, Jonathan Allen and Jordan Hargrave or Javon Hargraves. And veteran cornerback Byron Murphy. I feel like most teams who add names like that were sorry as hell.
Well, Murphy been there. Murphy been there, but they also going to start a rookie a quarterback that hasn't played. He ain't a rookie.
Yeah, right.
But, so and they offensive line, they signed some offensive linemen as well. Yeah. But you got to put that thing together.
Medium names with big price tag.
That's exactly what point I'm getting at is they have these new additions, but they're gonna have to get them together, man. And I'm just saying, usually when you see that many off-season acquisitions from a team, they usually were sorry as hell. That was a 14-3 team who we were division title was on the line in weeks, and at the end of the season. So it is to be seen, but I expect the Lions to steamroll through the division again.
That 14-3 team came to Detroit and got that ass whooped at the end of the season. So
because y'all friend that old pumpkin.
Yeah, and for me, some of those guys like Javon Hargrave is not a great run stuffer in the interior defensive line. He's just not. Neither Allen is either. So, and what do? We like to run the ball. So I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they will be bad. I don't know if two bad dudes make one good dude, but I don't know. But anyway, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. All these things help us with this Detroit Lions content and get it out to more fans like yourself, man. Please subscribe to the channel. Think about joining my man T-Bone Locks, man, and in the membership. So make sure you do that, man. Check it out, man. You get the benefits,
Dubby.
man. So go ahead, man. Appreciate your T-Bone Locks. All right, and you know what I'm saying, hit that link for the Dubby, man. See what you got. And that store is coming soon, man. We're gonna get it to you. Hopefully we can get it to everything set up. Everything is be rolling for you. Get some boss up all our gear. We got a Shopify store coming to you, man. It's real soon. So make sure you check that thing out. All right, last but not least on today, man. We got three defensive defensive edge rushers that the Lions still could target before the season starts. And you know, we've been talking about this. I think there's still a few veteran options at defensive end that the Lions could add via free agency. The first option is for Coach Jones. You know, he's going to like this one. Bring back Darius Smith on a 1 or 2 year deal. He wouldn't be too expensive. The Lions really got rid of him because they didn't want to pay those 2 years of dead cap money. And that's why they let him go. He had 9 sacks between the Lions and the Browns last year. That's pretty good. Proven pass rusher. And I would like to see him have some more opportunities to get some more sacks opposite Aiden Hutchinson. The next guy is another former division rival out of Green Bay. Played at half the season last year at the Steelers, Preston Smith. His size makes him a perfect fit for the Lions scheme. 6'5", 265, had 4.5 sacks playing for the Packers and Steelers last year. 32 years old, kind of slightly younger than the other Smith. Remember those guys were playing together up in Green Bay? And then, but Smith is more of a power rusher. And he can set the edge in the run game. Like Big Z, I think his game could open up on the Lions defensive line with playing with Hutch, DJ Reader, and then Lee McNeil when he returns from injury. Unlike Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith can play well inside. Now he has and one ability that he brings is availability. Here's a crazy thing that I saw when I was kind of researching him. He hasn't missed a game due to injury in his entire career. He has been available for every game. And he's only been listed on the injury report 5 times since 2020. That's a crazy amount of, I mean, you do that, man. That's crazy to have that to be that healthy in the NFL where you just not going on the injury report. And then the third option is Emmanuel Ogbah out of Miami. Now he's another player that has some outside versatility. He is 6'4", 275, and he's played every position on the defensive line since entering the league in 2016, to include nose tackle. Now, Ogbah recorded 5 sacks last season in 2024 with 11 quarterback hits on a Dolphins team that really underperformed. Well, here's the thing that sets him apart between the other two. He had 49 combined tackles last year. The other 2 guys, which is almost as much as the other 2 guys combined. I'm like looking at that. I'm like, whoa. Ogbah has had a history with injuries, right? He missed 10 games in 2019, of the torn pec muscle, and then 7 games in 2022 with a torn tricep. However, he's been healthy since then. He played 15 games in 2023 and 15 games in 2023 and 16 games last season. Now, I will preface this by saying I doubt that Brad Holmes will sign one of these guys anytime soon. I've said it on previous shows. I think the next Lions starting edge rusher comes in this year's draft. However, the price tag on these guys will continue to go down as the draft nears. And it'll go down even more if these guys make it to the summer and it's getting around training camp. The numbers will go down. The price tag will go down. And here's the thing. I was looking at Detroit Lions roster and looking at these guys. They have 7 guys under contract right now who are considered defensive ends or hybrid defensive linemen. And we talked about the guy the other day, Uku is on the roster. They picked him up on a futures deal. So he's still here. Though they signed him right after the season. So we were talking about Goudet, and we were like, "What's going on, Uku?" Uku's already on the roster because they had already previously signed him or made sure they locked him up at the end of the season. So, looking at these three guys, right? Which of these guys do you think the Lions may add if they add one of them prior to the season starting? Excuse me.
Not Zadarius Smith. I want to keep him away from
cash down.
And I just seen a thing yesterday, and I'm playing, of course, because this is my pick. But I seen a thing yesterday talking about he don't call her Cash, he call her Keisha. I don't care. Shut up. He bet not. But that's who my pick is. But I don't have a thing. Obviously, I don't have a thing to say because it's already too late. But you better watch your back, brother.
What you got, Coach Jones?
You know what? The obvious pick would be Zadarius Smith because the Lions like team chemistry. They like locker room fits. They like guys who come play the game, man. But what's his name? Agba.
Emmanuel Agba.
Yeah, I don't really know him. I've never really watched him play, but the numbers suggest that he is better at shedding blocks at the point of attack. Because if he has double the amount of tackles as the other two, that means that he at the point of attack he disengages blocks and he makes the play. So and he also has flexibility on the defensive line, which the Lions love players who can play multiple positions. So I really don't know much about the guy, but those numbers are interesting because he's a playmaker. So, but like I said, I would lean towards Zadarius Smith, but I wouldn't be mad if they went and got Agba.
I wouldn't be mad. Okay. I wouldn't be too mad at either of them if they come in, at the right price.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I'm on ball something like that right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. All these things help us with this Detroit Lions content and get it out to more fans just like yourself, man. And hey, check out Dubby, man. One thing that benefits for me, for a guy who has type 2 diabetes, man, it has no sugar. It's sugar free. So you're getting all your energy from the caffeine and the vitamins. So make sure you check out Dubby, man. You know what I'm saying? So a guy like me, I don't try to not eat a lot of sugar because I can't because of my health. So if you're looking for a pick me up, take on your day with Dubby, man. All right. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you do what? Follow the crew on your favorite social media platforms. Y'all see what's going on over here, man. Coach Jones does a great job over there on Wolver Lion Sports Talk, and he does some great things on this channel as well with some shorts. And make sure you check out his Beyond the Ropes boxing playlist on this channel as well. Get the real lowdown on some boxing news. So check out the Beyond the Ropes playlist on this channel. I'll post content from this platform on all of my social media. So make sure you check me out over there. And today it's Thursday Eve, baby. So it's going to go down over there on LL's Instagram page. And he does some other content over there on my high media as well. So make sure you check out my man, LL, and the Tupperware T-shirt exchange, man. Ladies, you got to direct message him to get all the details for all the Tupperware T-shirt exchange, man. All right. All right, Coach Jones, man. What you got for the people on this hump day, baby?
Dubby. That's the hell I got. No, but you know what? Shout out to Dubby. Thank you for becoming a sponsor of the Boss to Ball Out podcast. And also, I wanted to say that I think there might be a video on the horizon regarding this Terrence Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather because it's starting to pick up a little bit of steam, man.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. You already know that Floyd Mayweather kind of stays in shape a little bit. That's why he's doing these exhibitions, man. You think he's smart, trying to do the little exhibitions to kind of keep his reflexes going and stuff like that, man. So I think that there might be a little something on the horizon. So you just stay tuned for that video because it's probably coming very soon.
He ain't gonna fight Bud. He ain't gonna fight Bud.
Nah, he won't. Not at this point.
He'll
All right,
lose
what you got? What you got, LL?
Fun fact is, some of y'all may already know, some people in the world, hopefully I'm not explaining my alias out here, but some people in the world know me as Dub. So, you know, Dubby. So welcome, Dubby, to, you know, to us, to Boss Up Ball Up podcast. But another funny thing is Coach Mike been saluting all day since he wore his forehead out. I thought that was funny. But y'all have a great Wednesday. Don't worry about no Thirsty Thursday. And shout out to the Michigan Panthers and my guy, or our guy, Lauren Vander Esch. You know, they do the Michigan Panther Pride. And, you know, this weekend is the USFL or UFL, I believe, kickoff.
Yeah, UFL. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, tune in and watch Michigan Panther football. Y'all, happy Wednesday.
Yeah, man. Make sure you stay tuned to us right here at the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, man. We got more content coming out. The draft is coming soon, man. We're less than a month away from the draft.
29 days now. I think they were saying 30 yesterday. So
yeah, so it's like 29 days until the draft. And shout out to our family over there at Lions Nation Unite, man. They sent me some gear. Shout out to Chrissy, my man. Send me some gear. I'll have some more videos coming out over there on LNU, man. But make sure you check out. Yeah, check it out over there, man.
Kurt funny.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Kurt, but, you know, you got on Kurt wearing my shirt.
Nah, too. But I do content over there as well, man. So make sure you check me out over there, Lions Nation Unite, man. Make sure I will definitely send her a note, see if he can get you guys some stuff, man, as well. But they sent me a nice box yesterday, man. And I got a great, and I'll wear it one day. A little bag. But they sent me a great
box, not a little bag.
A salute to service gear, a hoodie. Man, as a veteran, man, that thing is beautiful. It's beautiful, man. Being a veteran, man, I love that type of gear, man. But anyways, man. But hey, thank you guys for checking us out right here, Boss Up Ball Out podcast. Your home for getting debate about Detroit Lions newsrooms. I'm not paying attention to you, dude. If you're having a good day at work, make sure you spread that joy. A little kind word can go a long way in someone's day to make them happy, man. Because, you know, they could be having the worst day, and you come and say a small word of kindness, they can help their whole day. They can make their whole outlook on life. If you're not having a good day, like these two dudes, don't try to steal no one else's joy. Yeah, man, whatever you do in life, you gotta be boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. From my fellas, LL Cool Torrance and Coach Mike Jones, this is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon.